Good afternoon. Welcome to my Facebook Live this afternoon. This is Jenny from Gemini Crafts, based in Brackley in Northamptonshire, and that's in the centre of the UK. And this week we've been having fun with punches, and these are card punches or paper punches from Stampin Up, and I have been doing a series of these, and this is the fourth one in the series. Good afternoon to you, Molly. And we featured different things. So on on Monday I did just some basics with the punches, and on Tuesday we did some more detail work with using punches in different ways. Hi Anne-Marie. Using punches to punch out larger shapes or smaller shapes than they were intended for. Yesterday we did some making of flowers using non-flower punches in the main. And today I thought we'd have a fun with a bit of punch art. So punch art is really exactly what it says, which is making characters or things out of punched shapes. So there are literally hundreds of these that you can create, and all you need to do, hi Jeanette and Carol, all you need to do is do a Google search and just type in the two words punch art, and you will see lots and lots of different samples of punch art. So these are great fun. In fact, I probably had more fun than I should have done this morning creating these. But these are great to do with children and grandchildren, and obviously during lockdown, which is where we are at the moment, you could put some little kits together and just send the kits flat in the post, because these are all flat to start with, and the children or grandchildren could put them together. You could do a little sheet showing how you put the items together, listing out what you've used, or you could just let them use their imagination, because we all know children are very good at imagining different characters and things like that. Hi lovely Lynn and Jeanette and Sam. So these were just a couple, well, three that I came up with. I have to say that I did Google some just to get a feel for them. This piggy one was actually done, I saw the original one by Kylie Bertucci in Australia. This was just my sample having a go at, which is why it's not brilliant, but I just wanted to make sure I could recreate it. And hi Bridie, what you need to do is really just look at what you've got. So this is an obvious easy one to do, which is where I'm going to start with the caterpillar. Now obviously this is based on the Hungry Caterpillar character from the book by Eric Carle, but they're really good fun, and you could do these in multicolours. This would be great in rainbow colour, wouldn't it, at the moment? So you could use any size of circle that you've got for this. So I happen to have used, I think, 1 1/4 inches, but you could do tiny ones to fit on a card. Obviously this is just slightly bigger than a card size, so you could, you know, obviously have less circles or use a smaller punch. So for this particular one I've done the 1 1/4 inch. As you can see, this is very well used. Hi Tracy, hi Baz. But just use whatever you've got. So Stampin' Up do have some circular punches available, but we have reduced the numbers that we are selling, mainly because I think, you know, once you've got a circular punch, hopefully you've got it for good and it will work forever. So you just use the sizes that you've got and make those work. Is what retiring Baz? 1 1/4? I need to look. I think it is. But 1 inch one or 1 1/2 inch or whatever would do the job. The ladybird one I've done two variations, one with folded wings and one open. And as you can see, you can probably make out, those are just circles. This one I've cut open. But I've also used a little single hole punch, like so, to punch out the holes in the red. And then I've just put it on the black to get the effect. Okay, Bridie, no worries. Bridie's battery might disappear. And then I did, for my Hungry Caterpillar, I did a little apple, and that was based on the heart punch. So, like so, and I've just cut the bottom off. Now, we do actually have an apple punch, but I don't own the apple punch, so it's a case of make do. And there's all sorts of bits and pieces that you can use. Hi, Jen. So you can just cut little bits for the feet, or you can look at other punches that you've got. I did think, so I cut little triangles for my pig, but I did think this leaf punch, those there, would make great little ears. So I'm actually going to use that in the one that I do today. Okay, sadly the leaf punch is retiring, or has retired, because it's no longer available. So let's do the an easy one to start with, which is the caterpillar. So let me put these a little bit further out of the way. Now I'm using a silica mat, which I've been using most of the week, because I'm working with wet glue, and it means that the glue isn't going to stick to my work surface, and it also means my character isn't going to stick to my card. So I'll just put that hopefully fairly centrally. Put those up out of the way, and this is what we're going to create now. So very simply, I've just got some light green card and some dark green card. Oh, hi Carol. Your girls would love this, your grandchildren would love this, I'm sure. So I've got some light and dark green card, and I'm just going to punch out some circles. So I've got 2, 4, I've got 8, 9 circles there. So as I say, just use whatever size punch you have, and I'm just going to turn that over. 1, 2, 3. Just counting with me. So I've got 5 of those, which have flipped everywhere, of course. 3, 4, 5. Now I seem to have already got one of those, so that's good. So I'm just going to do probably just 3 of those. So just punching those out fairly close together, but not so close it jams my punch up. Okay, so you can probably work out how these are going together. I'm going to punch out a red one for the face, but I said this would be great in rainbow colours for our current situation, wouldn't it? So here's a red one for the face, and then I'm going to cut 2 yellow circles with my 1/2 inch punch. So here's my scrap of yellow, like so, and I've got a little 1/2 inch punch here. That's 1 and 2. Oop. I knew it was going to fly somewhere. Voila. And then the eyes, I used my little hole punch. So this is actually, let me see, an 1/8 of an inch hole punch. We don't do one like this in Stampin' Up anymore, we used to. So you can get these from an office supplies company. You could even use a standard office hole punch if you've got one. That would equally work. The nice thing about this one is it has a little cover to catch all of the punches so they don't go everywhere. So I'm just going to punch 2 black circles just out of this scrap. So 1, 2, and then I can open this up and tip them out, like so. Okay, the little antenna that I've got here is literally just a strip of card, and I just cut that with scissors. which have disappeared right in front of my eyes. Let me get another pair out. Oh no, here they are. I knew they were here somewhere. So literally all I've done, and you could do this on the trimmer, but you might as well just use a pair of scissors. It's just as quick and easy. Like so. They're not particularly even, but I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, so to put this together, we're going to start at his bottom end. Okay, so all I'm going to do is alternate the light and the dark green. Okay, I'm going to use wet glue. So I have our Tombow glue here. And all I did, let's start with the lighter one. All I did was literally put a little bit of glue sort of in that corner. So if you look at where the overlap is, just put a bit of glue like that and then popped the green circle on. Okay, then I've done the same and a light green, and you can obviously make these go up and down. Let's move those out of the way. You know, you can have them as wiggly as you want, really. That one. Let's make this one go down and then back up again. So you could do this with children, so you would need to have just make sure you've got the correct glue, because some children are allergic to latex and things like that. So, but you know, a standard paperweight glue would be fine for this. A snail would also work. There we go. So just not rocket science, this one. Good fun. So I really do think somebody will have to do a rainbow one for me and show me, because I think that would be great fun. So I'm just overlapping. Some of the gaps are bigger than others. Okay, and obviously the bigger the gap, the larger the gap, the bigger the caterpillar will be at the end. Okay, so there's my body for my caterpillar. Then I'm going to add his face. So to do that, hi Jacqueline, I punched those two little yellow circles, and on those I'm going to put the two little black circles. So what I tend to do, there's lots of different ways, it just depends on how accurate you are and how dexterous you are. So you could use our take your pick tool. I just want to squeeze a little bit more glue actually off that, that's it. Only needs a little bit to pick that up and put some glue on, or you could use tweezers, entirely up to you. Pop one on. I tend to put mine slightly offside rather than in the centre. I could just go into, and if you can see that in the corner, I've got a little bit of glue here, so I'm just going to dab that. If I bring that up a little bit and then put that on there. Okay, so I've got my two eyes, and then for the little antenna I just snipped two pieces of black card. You could use brown card or any dark card really, and then all I've done is I'm using tweezers, but you could wrap it round a small pen or something, just holding the ends and then just rotating it, curling it round, if you can see that. I'm doing them both together, but you could do them singly and just let them unravel a little bit, and then I'm just unhooking them from each other. And these are longer than the ones I did, so they've hooked together a bit more. Okay, so you've got one there. Let's just do this one again. So perhaps do them separately, Jenny. Not together. You've got a bit more control over them that way. There we go. So there's my 2 antennae. So all I'm going to do is pop my eyes on first. Positioning entirely up to you. You can make the face look quite different depending on where you put the eyes and everything. I'm just going to put them on here. 1 and 2. So I shouldn't have left my glue top off. Should have covered it up. Let me do that. So every time you put the top on, it's got a little stopper in, and that will stop the glue from drying up. So I'm just going to pop one in here. And this one. Obviously you can make them look to one side, you can make them cross-eyed, boss-eyed, whatever you want to do. Okay. And then for the eyes, what I've also done, just to add a little bit of highlight, and if you can see that, is I've added a little bit of white gel from a white gel pen. This one is extremely old. And all I do is like a comma. That's the best description I can come up with. And so I'm just going to hold this down in case it's not stuck. Like so. Little comma there. And a comma there. Okay, I'm no artist. I can guarantee you that. Okay, and then for the mouth, all I did was drew a little. So you could take 2 little circle punches and punch 1 circle and then offset it. I can do a sample of that in a minute, but I'm just going to do a little smile, like so. Hi, Julia. Let's see if I could show you how you could do that. So if you didn't want to draw, then what you could do is, if you see, I've got this circle here. I know it's quite difficult for you to see actually, but if I punch it out you'll see it. So you could take a circle and another circle and then just punch that out. Okay, if you wanted to, but I know my drawing's not brilliant. And then I'm going to add my antenna, so I'm just going to turn this one over and then pop the antenna on each one. Let me just get this the right way round. And what I'm actually going to do is put a strip of glue here, but I'm going to put another red backing on so that I can put the antenna where I want and then have it all covered up. So there is one. Now obviously if you're putting this on a card, you wouldn't necessarily want your antenna sticking up like I've done. You would have them maybe more flat. Let's do this one. And remember, you can recurl them afterwards if you want to. This one's got a curl at the bottom already. There we go. So what I'm going to do is punch out another one to put on the back in the red, just so that it is nice and tidy and there's no glue, and also it will hold those pieces, especially if we've got little ones. It could hold them. So this would be quite good to make characters for children, and then get them to tell the story of the hungry caterpillar or another caterpillar. Not to infringe any copyright. Okay, there we go. Let's curl this one up a little bit more. There we go. I keep uncurling it, don't I? There we go. we have it. And then he is going to go onto the front. So again, I'm just going to put a bit of glue where the overlap is, not all the way over the back. There we are. So I just put some glue on that one side. Hi Marie. And then it's going to go onto there. And then if you want, you can add some legs. So I've got legs on this one, like so. And you can do that lots of different ways. You could just literally cut strips from your card, like I did for the antenna. Or what you could do is use our classic label punch here. Just punch out a strip like that. Sorry if it's difficult to see against the silicone. And then you could cut this up the centre. And then just cut it into thirds, really. Oops. Try not to lose them everywhere. There we go. And then all we need to do is turn him over, or her over, and just pop the legs on there. So I'm just going to put a few dots of glue. Hi Marlene. Oops. A bit carried away with that. So I'm just going to put these on, and then you can cut the legs to length afterwards if you like. Let's put those on there. And I know that he's got like little boots, hasn't he? The real caterpillar. So you could cut a different shape if you wanted to. I hope you're well, Marlene. So we're having fun with characters today, just for something different. But there are so many different things you can do. You can do lions. If you've got, you know, like a scallop circle, you can do scallop circle for the outside main, and then smaller ones for the inside. There's just endless ones. Go. And obviously you could put more circles on the back to protect these and keep them, you know, in one place. So I'm just using tweezers just to stop me getting too covered in glue, and you definitely recommend using a silicone mat for this, otherwise you tend to stick to the paper. There we go. Let's have a look and see. So there's our caterpillar. Let me just move that out of the way for the minute because you can see it better on the basic unit, can't you? And if you wanted to now, you could just tidy up the legs if you want to make them more equal. Have them going different ways, entirely up to you. I'm quite happy with it as it is. So there we go, one easy to make caterpillar. Now what you could do if you had young children is you could punch all the circles ready and just get them to stick them together. And you could do them quite big, and they could hang them up in the windows, or you know, just play games and play characters with them. So to go with the caterpillar, we have to have a tomato, an apple. Oh dear. Oh, the other thing I meant to say was if you've got googly eyes, these are great with googly eyes. I do have some here. I haven't looked for them, I have to say. We used to do googly eyes. In fact, they're in our retiring sale at the moment. They come in lots of different sizes and lots of different colours. So check that out on the website. So for the apple, this was very straightforward. I chose my heart punch. So this is because I haven't got... Okie dokie, no worries, Marlene. I hope everybody else is seeing me okay. Let me know if you are. Or let me know if you aren't. So for the apple, I picked up the heart punch, and for the leaves I did what we did yesterday, and that is I took a piece of green. So this of course is Granny Apple green and I've scored a line in the centre. Just going to fold that and then use our heart punch to punch out the leaves. So the fold line is just below the point. Okay, the bigger gap, the bigger the leaves will be. You could, if you have our leaf punch, of course, or your own leaf punch, you could just punch those out as is. Let's do that and use that instead. So it's a case of using what you have to hand or adapting. Of course, you could just draw a leaf and cut that out yourself. So I might do that like that. I'll see. Okay, so if I was doing it with this one, I just fold it over to get that leaf like that. Okay, but if you've got these ones, you could literally just either use those separately, or you could cut them up and put them together, if that makes any sense. Okay, so for the bottom, I literally just cut the bottom off. Nothing more than that. Nothing more skilled than that. You could, I guess, do a little bit of a edge. Is anyone else having problems with the reception? Says Marlene. Let me know if you're alright and it's just Marlene's end. It's got a bit of a funny shape to it, hasn't it? Let me see if I can just smooth that out a bit more. Anybody else having problems? Let's see if anybody responds to that, Marlene. So I punched a little hole here, whoops, in the corner, and what I've done